Nigga said Brady ain't to go. He the bafflement out
there.
Oh,
Rozzy said that, right?
Who said it?
Rozzy.
That was him that said that?
I seen him
Trap
post
showed
that.
it to me. I ain't seen
I seen him post that shit.
I'm like, y'all might start calling him bafflement. Yo. Niggas funny yourself for that. Oh, okay.
Drop, y'all. Woo. Let's get a little liquor in my system now. It ain't weed or whiskey without liquor in your system.
No weed, no whiskey in your system. Come on, bro.
First, you know.
I'm telling them the ski mask. Shout out to Kiss this guy. Like,
give me all your coochie.
Give me that coochie, bitch.
Give me all your coochie, bitch.
Put the coochie in the bag. Get a pressure record.
You gotta bring black like everything you get from the public. I don't trust anything. Everybody's nasty nowadays.
Big nasty.
You gotta bring black lights to the pool. Shit.
Nah, you don't want to do that. You don't want to ruin your day.
Nigga, think about how many people pee in the pool.
That's what I'm saying. You don't want to ruin your day.
I mean, I just don't go to the pool. I just go to the ocean. You know,
the ocean is a well cesspool.
I was about to say, bro,
it's all pure.
Shit.
Well, come in your mouth.
Welcome to COVID.
Mad fish nut all in the water.
It was like that documentary that they had talking about how all the fishes are contaminated and shit like that.
They are
big nasty.
I mean, niggas is
the ocean dirty.
Niggas eating their seafood platter like it's nothing anyway. So what?
I'm sure it's clean somewhere. Bro.
I mean, it is what it is at this point.
Oh, so you just eat dirt?
Nah,
you're a dirty nigga.
If it's not as dirt.
What?
If it's disguised as fish, it is what it is.
So you eat dirt if you don't know it's dirt.
Hey man, that's the society we live in. Don't y'all eat that bullshit anyway?
Would you eat ass if you know it's ass?
Nah.
I mean, I'm just applying the same philosophy. That's so stupid. He's the type of nigga that will eat some shit if you don't really know what it is and be like, oh, that's what it was.
No, but what I'm saying is,
sometimes call is just,
I just say that to say, we all eat bullshit every day.
That's why I asked if you eat ass. You talking about eating bullshit?
Nah, that's a bunch of bullshit. I'm not eating no ass.
Where did that term come from? Bullshit. Anybody know? The term bullshit.
Other shit too.
Like I've always wondered where certain words come from, but the main word I've always wondered where it came from.
Word's been around for a long time, so.
But who came up with the word?
The person who came up with the alphabet.
Somebody in the English language.
Like, have you ever looked up the definition of word? It's like the longest definition.
For real?
Word. Yes.
I never looked that up.
Yeah, I swear it's like the longest definition for that shit. I was like, damn, the word is such a long defined word, yo. Damn, man.
The W in the background. Word.
Word.
You gotta understand the word is the ultimate word.
Anyways.
And in church they be speaking the word.
The word. Yeah, what is the word? Is the bird the word? I just don't know.
Word.
Yeah, that should be the show, the word. Don't they have a show like that?
Mm-hmm.
They have something called The Voice, the something. They got something out there.
That sounds like some shit that like CCTV, some local shit.
Everybody did it. That shit in the archive somewhere.
Every time I hear CCTV, I don't even think of the news channel. I mean, the TV channel. I think of cameras. I watch a lot of UK shows now, so when they say CCTV, they always talking about the camera systems and shit like that.
Yeah. Every time I think about this shit, it's local shit.
Man. Well, welcome to another episode of Weed and Whiskey Podcast, man. Back in this shit again, man.
Mm-hmm.
Had to flow into this shit the weed and whiskey way. I feel like we've been away from the mic a little bit too long, and I haven't done this right, so I've been doing it properly real quick. I didn't even get a chance to introduce the guest last time because the conversation just kept flowing. I refuse to let this one happen, so I'm gonna interrupt everything.
Yeah, give him one of your legendaries.
Introduce this man properly, man. So.
All my niggas we coastin', high grade we smoking, on the highway we rollin', crackin' bottle we toastin'.
Give me your legendaries real quick.
Take my legendary sip before I do all of this real quick. Just want to say, man, in the house, we have one of the goats of Hartford, man, one of the goats of Connecticut. one of the originators of a lot of things that's coming from here, and one of the men who's been doing it for the longest out here. And you can hear in all of his songs, and he will tell you, he'll let you know he's a veteran, he's a creator, he's an expertise in what he do. He's the originator of the Yankee anthem. You cannot do anything Yankee related without giving this man your due diligence, his credit. It is needed. You ain't doing nothing new. This man been doing it. If you think you doing something new, I bet you he did it already. So honestly, man, this nigga had like 3 name changes by now since I met this nigga. This nigga been elevating spiritually like it's nothing, yo. He just found a new information to just make himself elevate, not even mentally, but just spiritually and physically as well too, man. This is just a physical embodiment that he brought in here, because it's just more than that. So with that being said, we now officially have Future X in the building.
Let's get it.
Appreciate you for coming through,
Hand
man.
claps inserted here.
I don't know where they at, but I don't know what's on the soundboard. Yeah, I don't know what's on the soundboard, but it's somewhere, man. It's somewhere. It's around there somewhere.
Y'all might hear it.
Thank you guys. Thank you for coming in, man. This has been long over fucking due, nigga. And I pulled up on you this morning. This nigga was like, yo, see, look at you. Forgot my interview already. I'm like, nah, nigga.
Nigga said, look at the alert.
Yeah, exactly. I just showed him the alert.
Yeah, we get the alert.
I just showed him the alert. I get an alert for every show the day before, and an hour before the show, and also 10 minutes before the show as well, too, as well as the time of the show.
Yep.
So I set to make sure niggas is remembered and we're prepared. Because we don't, you know, what he said,
Yeah.
proper preparation
Prevents poor performance.
There you go. P. And it's not just pussy.
Because I know you told me the 20-something. And I'm like, the 21st
Yeah,
came. I'm like, what's the 21st?
Yeah.
He's slipping again. Look at him.
Nah, we have to go back to old messages.
Came, I'm like, I see you post a status. You didn't even hit me though. You post a status. I said, hold on. Let me get on the status real quick.
Nah, it was early.
Yeah.
It was early.
I know, but still.
I pulled up on
I'll
you
be
like
up.
at 9 o'clock this morning, dog.
I'll be up, Gary.
Yeah, but I usually give time, yo. Like, I forgot you on dad time, yo.
Like a motherfucker.
Yeah. Nah, I like to give
Damn, you
time.
up early.
I like to give time in the day and shit like that, just so people to get the day going and let niggas know, give their heads up and everything. So, like I said, it's well overdue. Niggas be having all these intelligent conversations on the book and whatnot. This ain't a place for intelligence, but a lot of place for ignorant intelligence. So we're gonna bring a little bit of both in here, man.
We don't fact check shit over here.
Nigga, Future is the fact checker in here right now, man. He's gonna be more credible than we are in anything.
That's
That's all I'm gonna say. I hope y'all Googled most of the shit that we said, yo. Like, I'm not denying that it's true, but I need you to, like, confirm it's true for yourself, yo. Because I can just be speaking on my ass. That's all I'm saying, man. Look at all the niggas that y'all call reverends. Did you know all you have to do? You know,
Did you know?
It's free to be a reverend, my nigga.
It's tax free.
It's free to be a
for
reverend.
a church anyway, so
Exactly.
that's already the one thing that when I heard about it, like, oh shit,
Yeah,
okay.
it's not tax. You don't get taxed on that
Like a
shit.
Like, I
motherfucker.
think I'm coming on to a year of being a reverend right now.
Yeah, you stupid.
Nah, he's dead
Big
serious,
reverend
though.
training.
I'm
He's
dead
dead
ass.
serious.
Oh, you been? Did you say you what?
I'm dead ass. I'm a reverend, nigga. I just have to pay for my certification.
Okay. Yeah.
I can
You
marry.
can buy. You can't even really buy your driver's license, but you can buy being a reverend.
Yeah, nigga, I'm marrying Barry, nigga. Fuck you talking about?
Damn.
I do them right after the other at the same goddamn time. Whatever you
yeah?
need.
I'm
Whatever
about
you
to
need.
do that shit too, just to have.
Yo,
it.
hold on. Yeah, get that reverend certification in your
And then my
Your
resume.
resume,
Facts.
Every time you better just a reverend.
You need a hood marriage? I got
Reverend
you.
Quell. Yeah, I got
You
you.
know, it's be
Fact.
the reverend show.
Yeah.
Both of you on the reverend.
We're married motherfuckers and everything. Shit.
Shit, I'll baptize your baby if you need me to.
Real quick.
Facts.
I don't know. He ain't been on the job too long. He gotta wait over here. Oh, baby brown.
Now we'll just get the baby oil and the splash
Right
on the
now.
forehead real quick. The splash on the forehead.
All right, we like that. Okay, look. Holy
Nigga, like I
water.
brought him to God.
Holy water.
I did my job. At least he baptized. Oh man, niggas ain't shit. I honestly wanted to bring up this conversation. I know it's been a while, but you finally on here, and we kind of touched on it a little bit before. But that son China made, yo.
Yo, when he said earlier, like bring up something, that was one of the things in my head. Already, you said that I was gonna bring that up. Like, the artificial sun, baby.
The artificial sun, my nigga. Like,
So it ain't even really about the artificial sun, which is a nuclear reactor, right?
yeah,
They say it's like a reactor.
nuclear
But
fission or
it's
something
how
like that.
they got it into the sky that I'm still trying to figure out. Like nobody's talking about that. Nobody like probably break it over head. Like
And if it's supposed to be a reflection of the sun, why doesn't it do the damage of the sun if it's so fucking?
that's what people
close?
asking too. That's the main question people asking. Like, it's
Yeah.
supposed to be what 60 million times? I mean 60 times higher.
Yeah,
17 times. I think it's like 17 times. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Like, it's literally on the surface. Nobody.
Yeah, the sun is how many miles away? You can't even stare at that shit too long.
You see it on video rising up, and they said for like 17 minutes or something, and then come down. How does that happen?
What is that?
Only China.
That's some other. That's alien technology. I don't know what the fuck that is.
Damn,
that's some other shit.
So you know what that remind me of?
But I guess you got to be like I said on Wake and Bake AM show. I was like, yo, I feel like if I'm God and I'm like, yo, who gonna make something like this? I'm picking China because when you look at their budget of education, they spent $800 million. On education, we spend like 63 million.
I mean, they go to school longer as well too. Out of
a school all year.
They invest into their future, literally.
Right.
Yeah. Literally.
All right,
we talk about it.
So you got tabloids and shit like that, or some references that say like, oh, Bill Gates is talking about dimming the sun or whatever they say.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
So if you China, and I mean we ain't best of friends on some of China, like some of China we working, not all of it.
Facts.
Hell yeah, you feel me?
You're ahead of the game with that shit. Because it's funny, I read an article talking about
about to do.
I think it was like 2-3 years ago. I read an article saying the Queen of England saying that year was supposed to be our last light Christmas. That was gonna be our last light Christmas of light. And after that, everything's gonna be a dark Christmas after that.
What year?
I think this was like 2-3 years ago when I read this article. Oh. And they said that year was supposed to be our last light Christmas, my nigga. And after that, everything was gonna go dark.
Well, it ain't dark yet, bro.
Shit. I just wanted to know in what manner
what
she
does
was
that mean?
speaking.
Yeah,
what manner was she speaking? Was it physical? Was it spiritual?
I don't know.
To me, it's spiritual. Because it's like a lot of these,
But we're supposed to be in the age of enlightenment, so when it comes to information, this shit would be flooding. So I don't know why would it go dark now. But I can understand that because it's almost like, yo, we deep into it now. We had the few years where people were running around telling people, yo, wake up.
Exactly.
Now it's like, yo,
it's just bullshit.
When that virus came, I feel like that was the marker point. It was like, hit the switch.
Yo,
time to turn this shit up. Like,
that virus literally shut the world down, my nigga.
Yo, the only shit that wasn't shut down during the virus was niggas who spreading chemtrails inside them and the planes every day. Like, who paying y'all? And the niggas who was putting up 5G towers.
Facts.
That happened while
disguised as trees.
Who was in the house?
Disguised as trees.
Hey,
there's one right at the fire station down the street from me. Literally right on top of the fire station. Like, imagine the people who live in these apartment buildings and it literally has a 5G tower right on top of it. Bro.
They say it was certain cases where people would get like full-blown cancer or some shit. I don't watch a couple of videos. You know how that goes, just here and there. But
hey, that's the 5G shit.
Do you believe that shit though?
Believe what?
That you get cancer from 5G.
Radiation though, frequencies that if you turn it up, something bad can definitely happen.
Honestly,
nigga, you know what I'm saying? So I don't know if you're gonna get cancer, but
I feel like it's on top.
Like it definitely can affect it. You know
I feel like it's on top of the other active things that surround us. Plus, you gotta think about it. 4G LTE came radiations as well too. So we've been doing all of that shit this whole time. So add that accumulation to that shit.
Since the radio waves were introduced, pandemics been breaking out. Flus,
facts,
Spanish flus. It was a couple other ones to list the name. If you go to the dates and you try to like line it up, it won't be far apart. Like the dates they say the pandemic broke out, it'd be like 3-4 years within the time like the radio waves updated. So you had the radio waves introducing, they had the radios out. You got 1G, then you got 2G, 3G, 4G, 5G. In those times, there were like pandemics that broke out.
You're right.
Like, what the fuck?
But we didn't see them as pandemic, and it wasn't as big enough to shut the whole world
like this
down.
Shit, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But 5G was a big rollout.
But I feel like there was a whole big political agenda behind the whole COVID as well, too. Not just the whole 5G
mad agendas.
Like, there's so much behind it. Yeah.
It's complex world, so it's multiple things in one.
Yo, as this shit goes on, I'm just realizing I think this shit was just all financial gain.
It's definitely financial gain. That's what I said. It's mad shit.
It's just like, yo, they just like, oh, all right, yeah, this shit wasn't really working, so just get some more.
Also,
that was the plan from the start, regardless.
I asked this question too. How many countries is China even in the midst of buying right now since COVID?
How many didn't they buy already?
I had page documents of movements in China since like the early 90s of them buying up America slowly but surely.
Nigga, they doing that shit. They're literally colonizing from a political level right now. Literally,
like a motherfucker.
Like
you know they're in Jamaica. We know
they're in Jamaica. We know they're in Africa. Was it Afghanistan or something? They bought Afghanistan or like Zimbabwe, something like they bought it for $40 million, man.
Big loans.
40 million.
They like loan sharks.
They give you. They be like, oh yeah, we gonna build y'all mad roads.
Yo, China basically has that international bank that says you need a loan. You don't have no collateral? I trust you.
Power shifting. They don't give a fuck.
They don't.
No, they don't.
And they're the only bank that give out loans without no backings or anything. You don't need nothing to prove that you can pay the loan back.
I think what they doing is smart.
They hire their own workers though. That's be the problem. Like in Jamaica, they was mad that they hire their own.
No, what they do is they hire their own workers after people can't pay it back. It's after people can't pay it back.
But they know they can't pay it back, so they hire their own workers.
Exactly.
Anyway.
So what they do is they give you like a $700,000 loan. Here, you build up your infrastructures, you build your highways and all of that. When they know you can't pay that shit back and even then, their interest rates is not even as high as the other banks. They don't even have high interest rates. But they're the only one that's going to give you as high as of a loan that you need. And they know you can't pay that shit back, man. And once you can't pay that shit back, they have all their political figures in their pockets.
Of course.
All of them. So now they need to do everything that they say.
Everything too.
Like speaking for Jamaica, our biggest export is bauxite.
That's the shit with the aluminum?
I think I don't care.
I watched some shit on Vice and it was crazy. Like up in the mountains, they get the little material.
Biggest export.
I think it's the bauxite. They make the aluminum. I think that shit crazy.
The biggest factory in Jamaica that produced it.
I was watching that shit.
100% Chinese owned. Now officially 100% Chinese owned. First it was like 80%. Now 100%. They literally flew Chinese construction companies from China.
It's the bauxite. Yeah, that's an aluminum.
To there, and they let go all of the workers that worked in Jamaica. They let them all go and close the factory down to rebuild it.
On Vice, at the end of the episode, it just felt like niggas might revolt soon. That's what they made the episode come out like, yo, this happened before, and we fight on that. They were like, we fight over here, nigga.
Yeah.
You know Maroons. You feel me? They the first Maroons from the Maroons that was up in West Africa. The first rumbles out here this way was probably like, damn, they're Jamaican shit. You know what I'm saying? Because when they Queen Nanny and shit, them the Maroons up there, bang, they running shit. And people don't really know that them Maroons from Jamaica ended up in Haiti too and helped the Haitians. So the first sprouts of the Maroons go down from Jamaica then to Haiti.
And honestly, a lot of people don't know the real history of this shit. Like who they say the ancestors of the Jamaicans are the Tainos?
Arawat, maybe.
But they never exist.
But Tainos they're
not real people.
But that's what they say.
That's Puerto Rican.
But that's what they say about Native American. When you go, that's where it gets twisted. Like right now, we on a point where it's like the history over here is deeper than what the fuck they're telling us.
I was just about to say that.
Because the people that they tell us that it is, they're real, but it's not who they tell us they are.
What's smarter? Me telling you, okay, you may be from Africa, but you not. But you're all over here right now, and this is you, not the first person we grabbed though. You are the grandkids of that. Why? Is it not smart for me to say, okay, you from Africa, you from Africa, you from Africa? Because this is your land. Yeah. So if y'all come together, y'all really a powerful force. Yeah. Imagine that. So it's a crazy playing field right now.
So you've heard of the I don't know if I want to say theory, but that half of who they say are African Americans or a slave descent from Africa are really just Native Americans.
No, that's what I'm going into. I did my DNA test.
Okay.
So right in like 2011, 12, I started coming across the 5%ers, right? And that's what I became, Future Allah and all that stuff. Like, you know what I'm saying? Building, doing all that.
One of the few name changes that happened.
Right. Building up, whatever. And that, I remember coming across the lesson and they're like, Asiatic black man. I'm like, Asiatic? Like, what? I never heard of somebody. You know what I'm saying? Like, what?
Yeah, that term started being popular at a point, too.
And when you get to the Asiatic, that's really the Native American. Because when you get into the lesson, they'll tell you a certain amount of the people that's 5%, you know what I'm saying, that know the truth, whatever. The percentage of that, some of them are Native American. You know what I'm saying? Just like they say in the Hebrew Israelite law tribe, some of them, they got a tribe for Native Americans too, you know what I'm saying? So some of them got to be, you know what I'm saying, dark-skinned people from here a long time. Right. But so I do my DNA test, whatever, and my grandmother called me like a week before it come. You feel me? This is months. I had to wait months. And she's like, yo, she's like, Aunt, my grandfather is Native American. We used to braid his hair, long hair. I'm like, what? I never really heard that. But I kind of think I heard it one time, maybe my family when I was young. Because when I was in school, I remember telling somebody Native American, Jamaican, blah, 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 in my shit. I don't know what Native Americans are. Somebody had to say it, though, as a young person. You know, we get impressions here and shit. Like, okay, So, blah, blah, blah. The test come back. Mind you, I did it through African ancestry. Out of all the DNA test ones, that's probably like the least shadiest when you look. Okay,
that can give you the most
23andMe, they going to give their shit to, what you call it, ancestry, they going to give their shit to police, blah, blah, blah. African ancestry, they be like, we put you in a database and we'll throw your shit out. Yeah. Once your shit there, you get your shit, that's it. You know what I'm saying? It's not in our database. Is they telling the truth or not? Who knows? But it's black scientists too. But it's all an African database. When my shit come in, I'm like, I'm thinking I'm about to be like Somalia or shit. You
somewhere,
know, who you know,
what
who looking at? Like,
what tribe am I?
that shit said Native American populations D. I'm like, what the hell is that? Like, what?
Yeah, what is Native American population?
And mind you, I did one of the high-end expensive tests, so like 300, you feel me, something like that.
So it's giving you details.
And it's giving me, I'm doing the women's lineage, because I was raised with my mom. You know what I'm saying? So I'm going to define the women's is go your mom. That's what they do. And that shit said Native American population D, haplogroup D. Mind you, my father's a pale skin motherfucker. My mom is brown. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, if I'm going to, African, it's going to be through her.
Yeah, exactly.
So that shit blew my mind. I'm like, what? So I started researching haplogroup D. I'm like, they're not telling me no tribe. That's kind of corny. Like, why I can't get no tribe? Whatever.
Is it like zip codes? How they classify it or something like that?
I don't know. It don't say no zip code though. They go by just migration. They go through because it's genetics.
Yeah, you're right.
I'm doing straight genetics.
You're right.
I ain't doing genealogy. I'm doing genetic tests.
Right.
So they going through saliva. You know what I'm saying? They diving in. So bang, they like. So I start researching it. I find like a slide on motherfucking YouTube, like 20 videos, right, about haplogroup D. They talking about Nephilim. It's talking about mad shit. People in Tibet. It's talking about people in Japan. It's talking about the Andaman Islanders.
How they all migrated from different places.
The Andaman Islanders are a group of people. I put it in a song sometimes, The Sense and the Leaves. But those are a group of people who they say are stuck in a time warp. They out there still like rural. They like the only like there's a few groups of people like in the Amazon and over there like under India is an island called the Andaman Island. A string of them.
You talking about that island where they be killing motherfuckers?
If you go over there because they don't know who you are.
It's one of those.
If you white, they don't never see you.
It's one of the few islands that never got colonized, right?
Never.
Yeah, because the white people.
They say they're one of the first tribes out of Africa, but when you see my DNA test, it say we are of a non-African lineage. Like the certificate and the shit say non-African lineage. Haplogroup D, one of the most eldest and oldest tribes, eldest and certain tribes to migrate from Asia into North America.
Oh wow!
So they were like, we from Central Asia between Lake Baikal and I forgot what mountain range. The genetic strand popped up, variant, but it say non-African. I'm like, how is non-African? How did that ever make sense? But even on the map, it'll show you mitochondria is still like the key. Yeah. But how is that non-African? But I guess it's like that specific genome.
Was it before like the planetary splits the continental splits?
It's 60,000 years ago. About 60,000.
Okay, so yeah, that's after. That's
about 60,000 years. So it's definitely after. Damn.
That's still wild. Well, honestly, that's even with the continental splits. That's just history that's taught to us anyway, based off that.
So the video I went to the Japanese dude video. The Japanese dude, he did a DNA test live on television in Japan. And his DNA test came up on the screen, and I pulled up my shit, and we had genetic codes the same because he's part of obviously. So I'm looking what the fuck? Nigga? Not even. I'm gonna show you how weird it is. In the whole slide, it was a dude named the Iceman. So you listen to my Iceman 4, the introduction, and then the shit that Lurch made that beat, and then I go into the skip before that with the dude talking blah blah blah. No, it might be 4. Iceman 4, yeah. So on that, I got a skit in it saying like, it's one of the oldest intact fossils. It's called Yitshu or something like that. I put it on one of my merches, the t-shirts and shit. But it was like his name was the Iceman. Like they called him the Iceman. I'm like, yo, what in
the irony?
Fuck is the odds, nigga?
The irony in that shit.
What in the hell? One of the oldest intact fossils, nigga. They called him the Iceman because he got hit with an arrow on the back and home was slumped in the mountains for like years.
Shit.
And they found him like an ice cube, so his bones stayed together. They said.
Oh shit.
I'm like, what the fuck? But the Japanese do too. But they traced his shit to Canada, to the Incas. And that's the real Tupac. The real Tupac Amaru is from the Incas, not Tupac Shakur. Well, he got his name after Tupac Amaru. He's from the Incas. They chopped his head off because he was fighting against, I think, the Spanish or what.
Oh shit!
He's from like California.
Yeah, I knew Tupac got his name from somebody.
Inca King.
Yeah,
we don't get American history.
Yeah, I knew Tupac got his name.
We get his story.
We got his story. Yeah, we got our story. That's facts. Or her story.
So
think about it. Every country in the world know their story except for people in North America, and we the only people that don't know their shit.
We're literally being like
barely. We getting told.
Our
parents, when you're a kid before you go to school, your parents not talking about no slavery or no shit like that. You don't know shit about that. You go to school and like, you feel me? Unless you got them type of parents that was conscious. So I'm gonna say that. You know what I'm saying? That new. You might have conscious parents. You know what I'm saying? But the regular average motherfucker, like, niggas wasn't learning that. We had to learn that shit in school.
And then wasn't teaching
I remember a movie or something. But everybody in school looking at it one day like, what? We look at each other like, oh shit.
That's the shit.
But
as I realized though, as you got older, as you got more into like your classes, my nigga, the less they teach you up like this.
I was about to say, because I used to have to ask teachers like, yo, what y'all doing?
I kind of did too, but they started focusing
Not in
on
public.
they started
But
doing,
not too much. Yeah,
they started
light,
doing,
though.
they started doing shit like what West Hartford started doing and started focusing on the extracurricular activities right now.
Yeah.
So they weren't on the liberal side no more. Exactly. They was focused more on the arts, the sports, and shit like that. So they was like, yeah, we're putting all into this and into the schools, but you're putting into the academic.
Because it was like world history too. It'll fly over the world history. They do like mad shit.
Yeah, and they give you a little piece of Black history.
The inventors, like
they give you Martin Luther King.
Like
Rosa Parks.
Do they teach Amistad anymore?
No.
I don't think they ever taught that.
They did.
They did.
When I was in, I was
thinking Roots
middle
maybe.
School. No, Roots.
Roots is the one that.
No, original Roots.
Yeah.
Not Chicken George Roots with the one that just came out with on ABC. Not that one, my nigga. Nah, nigga. If you watch the real Roots, the real Kunta Kinte, my nigga, that one, the one that you literally have to go to the library and rent on video cassette, man. That's the one right there. That's the Roots I was watching.
The super series.
I've seen Amistad for sure.
Amistad, I seen Amistad, I think, in middle school.
He was scraping the shit up with his nails.
Middle school. That's when I seen Amistad. But as I got older, I realized they never told a full story of Amistad in middle school. They never elaborate on the purpose of it.
Okay, do you ever watch Dane Calloway?
Yeah, I watch him. Okay. Yes, I watch him.
Dane is the one who
he's the one that really put me on.
He goes hard on it.
He's the one that put me on with the idea, like, all of the Black people here in America, they've been trying to find a history away from where it's really originated.
You know,
from.
Champ.
Yeah, Champ Jones. Yeah,
Champ is one of the first ones that brought it to my attention. Like, yo, I'm like, yo, huh? And it was around the time I already had my DNA test. So you're like, yo, I got books that show you. That.
Yeah.
So he started maybe going on the danger popping out of nowhere. I'm like, what in the hell?
And they just started watching all the shit. Like, he was telling me how, like, all the Americans from here, they're actually the real descendants of the Native Americans. They're not from Africa.
Why do everybody disappear over here?
Because they're naturally from here.
The Olmecs, nigga, the fucking before the Aztecs, the Toltecians. So it's a book, the Four Agreements.
That's the name you don't hear that much. The Toltecian. You don't hear that. You don't hear that.
Ancient Mexico. They got pyramids.
You don't hear that like that.
They got a whole city of pyramids. Because
everybody's focused on the Aztecs and shit like that. So they
scientists and musicians.
Shit is getting covered up though, because they cutting on the Amazon and finding civilizations. And nobody's talking about nothing about. They're not talking about none of that shit. They're not talking about none of that.
Dude on Joe Rogan.
That's where I heard it from.
Homer, like one of the first explorers that came over here, the Spanish explorers. He's the only person, so they say, the first person to go through the west and the east of the Amazon. Nobody never explored the whole shit. Right. On their end. Let's say that. Native Americans most likely just explored the whole shit. Niggas, the dude was saying that he think that the Amazon rainforest is handcraft made. So the people made that shit.
Yeah, the soil
is ass, they saying, but when you dig deeper, it's a dark soil that you don't get nowhere else. Like, how the fuck did I get there?
And what the fuck? They had to be human.
The Amazon is the lung of the planet, though. That's the biggest force.
The biggest.
And people's minds, when you talk to the average American, not say black, white, any race,
average American,
and ask them where the jungle is at, they're gonna take Africa. When Africa don't have that much jungle. South America got the most jungle.
It's a jungle. It's a big jungle.
Facts. That's why.
Africa's more a desert.
But you gotta think about it, like
big ass desert at the whole half.
Even think about it, like, why was Bolsonaro trying to burn down half of more than the Amazon that he needed to? Remember when all them uncontrolled wildfires is going on? Then literally,
not too long ago.
Not too long ago, yeah.
They said that was environmentalists doing that.
Yes, he was basically on side of all the people doing it. He was giving them permission to do it.
You ever heard of cattle grazing?
Yes, he gave all of
it. Yes, that's what they doing. That's what they doing.
I ain't gonna lie, out of all of them conspiracy shit, or not even conspiracy, they theories. But out of all the high profile ones, that one is the scariest one. Niggas be getting whacked. Bro. They whacked some lady. I'm like, I watched one documentary. My boy put me on one day. I'm like,
because South America is supposed to be like one of the biggest imports for cattle, my nigga, and for like beef and shit that.
Look at the origins of cattle. They're not from this part of
they
the
literally
world.
Kill people if you're trying to raise cattle in their area, man. They will murk you, my nigga, just for that. Yes. That's their biggest money.
It's kind of like middle of America is for cattle grazing.
Where grow avocados?
All the middle states that nobody be at.
Where grow avocados? I forgot where.
Avocados from Mexico.
Niggas kill for avocado farms. Kill.
I bet.
Kill, my
resources
nigga.
Real.
Like them
resources.
Them Haas avocados, because those are the biggest exports, my nigga. The biggest exports are Haas avocados, my nigga.
Resources are the biggest commodity in this world.
I mean, that's why
Why you think they want to go in space? They talking about asteroids. You ain't see the little diamond they've been promoting? Yeah. This big black diamond they saying came from outer space or some shit.
Yeah.
That's the next thing. They want to mine gold on asteroids.
I think the iPhone is from outer space. A lot of
the technology got it. Nigga, when you look
up
the history of technology. That shit is weird. You're never getting no pinpoint.
It's reverse engineered alien technology.
it comes after World War II, the big technology boom. World War II, and during
But
World War II was
when
crash landings was happening.
But that's when Germany built their own UFOs and had their flights over, my nigga. Yes, you didn't know
Call of Duty,
nigga. That
Call of Duty and the zombies.
That's real. That's the Avengers.
Gun that shoot sound.
The Avengers,
the teleportation shit.
And the Avengers is the real history of how certain shit happened, my nigga. That shit's actually telling the truth about a lot of shit, bro.
Art imitate life. So not that good.
This is crazy. We might get canceled.
Like, all right,
this one's gonna do it to us.
All right, think about this one, right? The Bermuda Triangle, dog.
Of
all the things you learned about
that one is the craziest shit. That's nigga. Somebody talking about it the other day. I'm like, I don't know.
Because it's still some of the it's still an unsolved mystery out there.
Is it a portal over here? Like, what the fuck?
I really think it's a portal. I think it's a portal. Like, once you reach a certain part in that portal, you disappear. Because I've read like stories about how all these top flight commanders used to like, they used to fly over areas like that, and they just disappear. I'm one of those people.
I think ships and shit too.
I'm one of those people who believe like, if we're gonna really get deep into conspiracies and shit, you're the perfect person to this. I'm one of those people that believe like theorizing the idea that day and nights don't actually exist, and we don't have the right perception of the universe. Day and night is just strategical placement of stars and astrological alignments that gives us day and night, money, and just how the rotations is. There's everything's all continuous. So that's when it goes.
But I think that comes with time then. And time ain't really
time to me is an illusion.
We can trace time. They go back to 180.
Time isn't linear. Time we try to make time linear.
We can't trace the world time, but we can trace the time that they, that's
exactly.
They're the youngest people.
Exactly.
They make it.
Because if you like, to me, from what my research is,
so lost, right?
My research is the first version of recorded time was the Zodiac calendar.
And it's crazy shit. People be talking about zodiacs, and I be like, yo, if you go to history, the zodiac shit outdate a lot of shit.
It's the first form of
that
time.
Like that come from like Asia, right?
It came from India. So these are my theories, right? It comes from the Anunnaki.
But what culture do they? That's Mesopotamia. So that's like Asia.
The Anunnakis, the giants that came here to mine gold.
Mesopotamia talk though.
Yeah, the Aztecs goes back to the Aztecs and shit like that.
Aztecs got Anunnaki nation.
To me, the Aztecs were the aliens. That's why nobody knows where they disappeared to, because it just went back to where they originally came from. I really do believe there were alien people that
I think the Mexican mafia them niggas like Aztec bloodline type shit.
I think so.
Yeah.
So I think the Aztecs were the aliens, man. Those were the 7 to 11 feet people with the 3 eyes.
I don't know.
Those were some of the people for me. That's why the Aztecs, bro. The Aztecs. Because like places like Jamaica, places like a lot of those places, my nigga, nobody really knows what they seen, my nigga. Like the first versions of serpents that people ever seen was alien tech. When people talk about they seen a flying serpents, you seen all these hieroglyphics of flying serpents, that's alien tech. That's UFOs that's flying above us.
Honestly, I think that shit, when they see that shit, it's time travel.
You know why I can say it's time travel? And I believe that because space is linear, right? And space just keeps going. And if you're going forward, you're going in time, right?
Yeah, I don't believe that.
You're going in time? But do you believe in space?
I believe in space.
But do you believe we can get to space?
All right, so I have contradicting theories.
All right,
here
you go.
I believe
flat earthing right now.
I have the theory that there's a firmament over us. There's something that's preventing us from actually reaching us.
In Earth, they did say we had what is it called? What's the shit that
the atmosphere
that protects us? What's the name of that shit?
The ozone layer.
Ozone layer.
Atmosphere.
It's the atmosphere.
Van Allen's belt.
Okay.
Same shit. I think it's the ozone thing, whatever. Same shit. Stratosphere, blase blah. But that's the shit that they say. So it's kind of like, okay, so it is.
So I feel like there's something like I really don't believe 1969 the moon landing. I don't think that actually happened.
No, I feel like that was.
I think at that time,
I think they got there, but
I think at that time,
it
was way more financially profitable to fake the moon landing than actually go to the moon.
You know, it was one thing that always buzzed my head about that. It was this Halo game when I was living in Cali. And we're in San Diego or whatever, and we playing Halo. And then, because I ain't never played Halo, only out there that one time, that one game. And it's like 06. And motherfucking, you go on the Halo shit, and you see a cardboard dude. You see the moon landing, but it's cardboard, and it's like a camera.
Yes.
And it's like, that's how this, I'm like,
yes.
What the
Call of Duty be having shit like that, too.
I'm looking through this shit like, I'm looking through the stage like, oh, because I be telling niggas like, video games are more
tell you the truth.
Movies.
Yes.
Damn near books sometimes, because they be going in.
They go in, my
video game industry. I don't know how they got the green light, but they got it.
But
in the world term in gaming now, metaverse is gonna be like a gaming type system. It might be a gaming world.
Let's talk metaverse. The reason I want to talk metaverse with you because when Lurch called you the other day, niggas was talking about the Oculus and how niggas is gonna get that and start building the metaverse. This nigga talking about he want real estate in the metaverse.
Property.
What the fuck is the metaverse?
Okay. Can you break down how?
What the fuck is the metaverse? Wait, what the fuck is the metaverse?
It's a virtual reality.
Like, why this one is so important than all the virtual realities we're talking about? Why is this one more important than my Pornhub virtual reality?
This is the big issue. Your Pornhub is not, you ain't Avatar going in there and doing everything, you all that shit. You just probably watching it.
Yeah, I get to watch it from all 360
That's
angles.
what I'm saying. But this shit, you're going to be able to work. You know
what
I'm saying? Property, do all that shit.
So if I'm getting a hand job in there, I can feel it?
We had the early stages.
Can I nut from VR?
You probably will be able to eventually, I'm sure.
I mean, I think you can because it's all about stimulation.
Hell yeah.
That's all it comes down to. Right. And if you can stimulate the right parts of the brain. Because you
never
heard about the people who just get so hard of looking at a girl they pretty and they actually nut. It's the same shit.
Super horny ass niggas, for sure.
It's the same shit.
I don't get no buttons.
Yo, I'll be so embarrassed. I'd rather nut in 2 minutes than nut without getting pussy.
They ain't booty called a nigga nut in his pants?
Yes.
Okay, I'll try to.
That's uncomfortable, yo. That's uncomfortable, yo.
What do you mean that's uncomfortable?
That gotta be uncomfortable.
Terrible.
Nasty. Big nasty.
Imagine you've got to walk around the whole day with dry to come in your pants. Imagine all the girls who get wet in their drawers the whole day.
That's nasty.
When they walk around with that leaky pum pum, that shit just drip for no reason. Listen, ain't nothing wrong with a dripping pum pum, dog. I mean, it stay wet.
Okay. Did y'all see the Metaverse though?
The Netaverse.
Okay. I talked about it. We can make M.
What the fuck is the Netaverse?
Okay,
first of all, we got the Metaverse, then we got the Netaverse.
So the Netaverse is still the Metaverse.
It's like the beta version.
They're opening it up.
It's like the beta version. It's like the beta version.
Break it down. So the other day it was a Brooklyn Nets game. Nets versus somebody on the Yes Network though, and they introduced the Metaverse to the NBA, and they're like, "It's the Metaverse." Barclays is the first stadium to have it. The Nets is the first franchise to use it. Blah blah blah. But what I'm seeing is they're going to put that into that space because right now. In the one I'm on, so Decentraland is the number one. So let's go back to flow of it. Decentraland is like the number one metaverse where people get in like real estate. Heard of that. Where they had Snoop Dogg. Somebody brought brought property across from Snoop Dogg. How like 40 million.
Is this like the Elysium?
You gotta sign up.
Is this like the Elysium of the metaverse?
They're like signing up for apps and shit. Damn, I remember. Did I watch Elysium? I think I had that.
Elysium is just basically a community space for the rich people.
I feel like that'd come. But that's not Elysium. The metaverse is probably gonna lead to Elysium because then we're gonna be here, not really worried about that shit. They're just gonna be doing.
I feel like we're in the process of Elysium already.
That's what Elon Musk is doing.
It's mad different ways this shit can go when you look at the movies and shit. Like so many different ways.
Like what Cedric said, he gonna pull up in his Cadillac and just drive to space, drive to the moon.
But I'm on this shit called Upland. And right now they about to open LA Wednesday. My boy he just came here early like, yo, they open in LA. Right now I got property in Kansas, 2 properties. You could buy the little property in the space. It's like a Monopoly app. But eventually when they get the Oculus, they're gonna transform like Decentraland, like the big ones coming up. So the big ones are damn near flooded, but there's gonna be more virtual spaces. Eventually, I think they're gonna have to combine as one, as a conglomerate. It's all about New World Order, one world money, one currency, one thing. Just like you just see Microsoft. What Microsoft just did.
Hey, what you was gonna show us now? It's funny because you put it.
We back live again?
Yeah, we back rolling. Yeah, we back rolling.
Oh, so the up layer. So bang. Let me go into it right now. So this is a property trading game, but so it's not advanced as the Decentraland and like the top maybe 3, but this shit is gonna be like the next wave of them shits. Because the NFL is partnering it. As you see the NFL right there. I'm in New Jersey right now currently.
I mean, not really.
But this is a stadium.
You're not currently in New Jersey.
You know what I mean? And this is the stadium right here. You can go in there and buy little shit, get NFTs, mint shit. You can get, bet your little UPX coins, and you can convert it. Like you can convert it out to USD, or you can just keep getting more, or whatever.
Oh, I've seen some people posting about that shit. So you can
vote, blah, 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 do all that shit, get little merch, all type of shit. It costs. Get all that shit, but you in the virtual world, you get in there early. So let me go to my properties right here. Bang.
How much properties you got in that?
See, right now my residuals up there. That's just me just collecting every day.
Yeah, for about 1,000 UPX, dog. And the man have money in that upland, dog.
Barely, that ain't that much either.
I know it's virtual
really
money.
shit, you feel me?
You have to convert that shit. That's
exactly.
like what?
So this is my network right there.
Like $20.
Something like that. Basically, you feel me? I only put a bunch in. But I got property. My property is my property.
But you're expecting it to go up pretty much.
Bronx. Yeah, it could go up.
So you're expecting it to go up.
Because if you get into a nice property in a nice neighborhood where people flooding, the property value gonna go up because people gonna sell their shit for a high price.
So you're really telling me niggas is really gonna go into the metaverse to buy property in the metaverse?
You're gonna be doing more than that. Right now, this is the property trading game, but eventually this is gonna develop where they're gonna get Oculus and shit, and they're gonna have the avatar in there.
All right, so
they about to put cars in there, everything.
So can I rent one of your properties for our podcast office?
You stupid.
I'm being dead ass.
In the metaverse, real shit.
I'm being dead ass.
So I ain't got my businesses running though. I only got properties so far.
So I'm done. So when you got it running,
this is still developing. You know what I'm saying? So yeah.
So, but how do you do that though?
You got to sign up.
I think I'm gonna sign up.
No, what I mean is if we wanted to rent your space for a podcast studio, how the fuck?
It's like the same thing in real life, but in the metaverse.
Still developing, so that's still getting into it. Like the musicians, they got something coming up for the musicians where you'll be able to do concerts in there, shit like that. And when you do concerts in there, you feel me? People could come, make that a specific NFT, all that shit. You know what I'm saying? Pay all that shit. It's gonna be crazy shit going on. This shit. The Decentraland is the better example because they're the most developed ones. You know what I'm saying? But I don't like the Decentraland, and that's probably already like you gotta be on the waiting list for this shit, bro.
You gotta be on a waiting list for that shit.
A waiting list. Shout out to Kiss the Sky Exotics.
Facts.
For providing us the face mask.
But I think eventually you'll be able to combine them. When you look at Mark Zuckerberg's version of the metaverse, like the Facebook version, how that's about to go into.
Nigga, speaking of, you seen Walmart just started creating cryptocurrency for the metaverse already.
You bluffing?
I'm dead ass.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I think they have like 2 or 3 forms of cryptocurrency for the metaverse specifically.
What?
That's why the metaverse been on my head because I'm on Google and Walmart came up in there when they talking about crypto in the metaverse. I'm like, at first I heard y'all talking about it and I see Google talking about it. I'm like, I think I need to be on top of the metaverse at least for the podcast because
everybody's gonna be sucked in because everybody's gonna do just like how you heard.
Yeah,
especially when they get developed, when people start really making their businesses in there. Like they got my boy here Zoom. Like he said, you go into the map and look at certain people on the map. I forgot what he said. I gotta look for it. But when you zoom in, people got properties on their shit. I mean, business on their shit. You could purchase certain NFTs or certain whatever.
So are they? They don't have the technology for us to like virtually visit those properties yet. I don't know the Decentraland like that, but the Mark Zuckerberg version look like you will be able to get into those spaces. Version. So it's like
the Facebook version, you like office space.
So it's like playing Farmland, but virtually.
That's what, or the Sims.
Yeah,
the Sims is the first example.
Okay.
Now you're getting into the game. You ever watch the movie Blank Check?
No.
Yeah.
Okay, and that movie Blank Check, that was one of the first examples I seen like virtual reality back in the day. I'm like, yo, we need that. Like he was in that shit. Like, this is obviously way more advanced than that.
Speaking of old movies, just a random thing. I was just watching Head of State, bro.
Head of State?
He's the head of state.
Okay.
Bro, the roof, yo.
I ain't watched that in a long time.
Yo, to keep it a buck, my nigga, I'll watch it because I'm one of those people right now. As I get older and I get smarter, I like to watch these movies I was watching at like 13, 14 years old. I really didn't understand that.
Facts.
So I'm looking at that shit and
evaluate
it's funny right here talking about this shit and they talking about the reason they had Chris Rock, this character, running is because they were trying to make him lose to put him in this other white guy in a position to win for president in 2008. And I thought that was a coincidence because who was our president in 2008? And wasn't that an actual election year?
What, Obama?
Exactly.
But he won though.
My point. Which was the goal that they were doing in Head of State was to get the black man to win.
Okay, just the plot you're saying. Yeah.
So was this, like they have subliminal messages in it?
Yeah, for sure.
Like that's what I'm saying. Like, did they know about this black man that was supposed to be president? Like that's what I be really thinking.
Remember,
Obama was meant to be in office.
When did Dave Chappelle do the black president skit?
I think like 2000. It was before. It was around 2004 or earlier. Between 2002 and 2004.
That's the one I always hold in my memory because he always do that little skit at the end where he be like, "Oh, Bobo the alien," like alien exposure.
Yes.
But I'm surprised. Obama didn't really. Yeah, he didn't expose no alien shit. But around that time,
Trump did.
Around that time, one of the head defense ministers in Canada came on. He was like, "Yo." I'm like, yo, I was on vacation and I'm on my, private jet, whatever. And somebody came to me and was like, read this book. And I'm like looking at this shit like UFOs. Like, I wasn't interested in this. Like, what is this? You know what I'm saying? He said he started reading on his vacation and shit like that. He's like, and this is like the top of the year, like 2011 maybe. And I'm like, I'm like, he like. What he said? He said, damn.
Let's go to you.
Right? That way. He like, oh, I now know that there's about 11 alien species, and that the U.S. government is at least in contact with like 5 of them.
Wasn't this?
But this is a high level person. So I'm like, what the?
Wasn't this not too recently when I think Russia was trying to force America to tell us that aliens are real?
That was something that sparked up too. I forgot about that.
Yeah, that was happening around that same time too.
Like that. Yeah.
They told us aliens were real.
Yeah, and they were literally saying if you don't tell the American people, we're gonna literally expose it for you.
There's literally documents here.
I keep it about. Let's just.
They've been putting out mad.
Let's just put it out there.
They've been putting out mad videos of them seeing.
Yeah,
they opened the files.
Let's just put it out there, bro. I'm an alien.
You stupid.
I said it.
Hey yo.
I said it.
We the alien podcast.
I said it, guys. You guys know. Everybody knows. I'm an alien.
The first intergalactic
podcast.
Speaking
you from the other side of the world. I'm here in my physical Earth form.
You augmented.
Yeah, exactly. Right, the physical. I'm in my virtual form. This is my metaverse.
So mind you, they got virtual reality and then augmented reality.
Yes, they do. What's the difference between virtual and augmented?
Virtual reality is in the virtual space.
And augmented is literally
more in the real reality.
It's based off the reality.
Augmented, I feel like, is reality, but got the virtual space in there.
Okay.
Which one is more intricate and more complex? Augmentation.
The augmentation crazy.
That shit wild. Cause I'm gonna put it out there. I play Pokemon Go and I love the fucking augmentation.
Pokemon Go, exactly.
Yeah, that's one of the first games that really started putting out augmentation like that. And now everybody's trying to do the augmented reality.
You seen the Panthers? Now. The Panthers had that the
big panther ran around the stadium.
If you see it, it looked crazy. Like I'm trying to wrap my head around it still. It looked like a real big ass panther running around the stadium.
Nigga, I feel like I'm in the metaverse.
Okay, here's the thing that's dangerous about augmented reality and all that shit coming right now. You ever heard of Operation Bluebeam?
No.
Project Bluebeam?
Get into the
Project Bluebeam.
Let's go.
So Project Bluebeam is a theory where even though the time of that passed, but how these should be working, it don't go with the time that you hear about. You feel me? It should be moving late, slower, blah, blah, blah. But it was supposed to be, I think, around the year 2000 or some shit. But the dude who came up with this shit was like, yo, they're going to stage an alien attack or some shit like that. The powers that be.
Futurama.
But it's going to be you're going to think you're seeing what you're seeing, but it's not really that.
Yep. Futurama. But I'm one of those people who I've been into conspiracy theories since sophomore year in high school. I can actually tell you that specifically because that's when I stopped giving a fuck about high school. Because I was just so died. You want to go into one of the deepest conspiracies? If you want to talk about getting pushed to getting canceled, you want one of the deepest ones I got into at that point, my nigga.
They go take us away.
They about to bust in here right now. Hey, freeze, dirt man.
You remember the conspiracy theory when they're talking about Obama was a homosexual?
Oh my god.
Yep. Was
it Larry Sanders?
I don't know who started.
Larry something. It was an actual nigga who literally rented a hotel conference room and invited all the major news outlets there, and actually gave a description of who Obama actually was and his relation with Obama. And he talked about all the things he did with Obama when he was a Chicago Senate.
Oh, a dude.
Yes. 8 balls of cocaine and fellatios.
Yo. What? Oh God.
Fire for them things.
This is like
you know, it'd be funny. I wouldn't be sad if this episode is muted.
Right? That's some real shit.
Nigga, we about to be muted. They about to come for us, bro.
No, we ain't talk about the other shit. This shit too much about the.
Yeah,
fact. Bullshit is that.
Fact. You know, it's funny. We never touched on that. You know, we never touched. We try not to get too political, but I'll get conspiracy, but I won't get political.
Yeah.
It's a difference.
Yeah. Online is
it's a difference because
they cracking down.
Yeah, because when it's conspiracy, they have different texts to prove how it's not true and shit like that.
Right.
Yeah. You don't
so
have
it's
to
easy.
us, but believe us.
Google it.
Right.
You don't have to. Don't Google it.
Matter of fact, DuckDuckGo it.
Right.
Those of you who don't know what DuckDuckGo is, it's a browser that allows you to search for things without the blockers that they put on your regular browsers. Mm-hmm. I said browsers. I mean browsers. Hey, that's what I was thinking about browsers. I think I want to see some titties.
I think that's what it is. I deserve titties right now. I deserve it.
What you feel about space being like water?
Makes sense.
Is it wet?
I don't know.
Hey, but then you know why that makes sense? Because now they finding out like gravity is not like a
real
force.
Gravity's not real.
It's a thing.
Gravity's not real.
It's like an energy, I guess.
Gravity's not real.
Maybe not in the way we know.
Bro, this is my theory.
This
is my theory on gravity. All right. Gravity is not real. Gravity is literally something recreated on our own in our minds just because we are that powerful but don't even know it. And we have been so accustomed to the idea of gravity that it has been genetically, spiritually, and mentally passed down to us for us to accommodate to the ideas of gravity. Because if you really think about it, man, the universe itself is moving upwards.
As they say.
They don't say that.
You have to research that. Out.
No, they say it's expanding out, but moving upwards and expanding is two different things.
Yeah.
Expanding means you're enlarging. And to me, the universe is fucking infinite. How can you expand infinity?
Multiverse.
Yeah, like how the fuck do you expand infinity?
It keeps growing.
We keep learning. It's a difference. We're learning more about that, so we think it's expanding. That's all it is. We're just learning. How can infinity expand, my nigga? Think about that.
Exactly. It's not like niggas got the fucking machines following space and exploring right now, opening it. You never.
We're just learning about other things. We're having the technological developments to learn about the things that we haven't learned before.
This is what I say. If we get other species or other beings at this point in time, from the shit that I bottled up, I feel like everything is us.
Facts.
No matter what, even if it's another species, everything. Whether we just knew about it now already or not, those are us time traveled into space. If niggas got that far, niggas done already, you know what I'm saying? Like the Anunnaki theory is, you feel me?
I believe in Anunnaki
those are
theory.
the ancestors, blah, 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 but if they come back in time, that's still like them traveling, time traveling, all that
shit. Mean, you heard about what, they have many names for it. Nibiru, Eris, Nibiru, Eris, Planet
X, back in the day.
Yeah, honestly, every time I hear Planet X, you know what my brain automatically go to?
I'll be forgetting about that shit too.
Ben 10.
My son be watching that shit.
Bro.
Cyborg still around for real?
This nigga Ben 10, yeah, they have different variations of it. Ben 10 was one of my shits back then, because to me, this nigga...
Oh, that shit an old cartoon?
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
I thought it was a kid's cartoon.
Yeah, nigga, they had different variations. It is a kid's cartoon, but they have different variations of it now. But when the original Ben 10 come out, this is when I was like in probably high school. So he has this thing called the Omnitrix. The Omnitrix allow him to transform to a different alien in the universe. Things like that makes you think, my nigga. How many different species are actually out there? When you think of
Super Earth, they say.
Think of the Justice League. Think of how many Green Lanterns there are. The Green Lantern Union.
Whatever it is, I think we're gonna find out soon though.
I think we found out, but they're literally doing
the exposure to the people, the public.
Yeah, it's gonna be exposed.
That's what the internet came about.
It's definitely gonna be exposed. I'm gonna roll up.
Can't hold information no more.
I'm gonna roll up.
Somebody's gonna say something.
I'm gonna say something. That's why I need to support Weed and Whiskey podcast, so we can learn the truth and I can tell it to you.
Okay, so for the next project I'm working on right now is the OSS 4, Online Super Saiyan 4.
I love that fucking title.
Free the Future. Why Free the Future? Because that's an episode. Well, my boy put me onto the Black Goku saga.
Yo, one of my favorite sagas in fucking Dragon Ball Z Super, my nigga.
The Black Goku shit.
Bro.
Fire. And I'm like,
that's fire.
It's about time traveling.
Yes, so and like the idea of doppelgangers.
Deep into Trunks and shit. Trunks is my favorite nigga.
I love Trunks.
Trunks is my favorite nigga back in the day. Like, yeah.
I love Trunks.
Guy. My favorite guy. So
and they made him stronger than that buffed up version that they usually do of him.
Yeah. Fact.
They buffed him out at one point and said, yeah, you reached your peak.
Right. We ain't gonna go too much.
Yeah, this is like for Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah.
Dragon Ball Z been around since the 80s, bro.
Yeah, but that shit deep too.
That shit deep.
I had got a connection with it. They say it's no connection. They say this is not a connection.
They say for black people. They say black people are the Super Saiyans.
Listen. Mind you, Asiatics, what I just said.
Yes.
60,000 years ago. All right.
And the Asians are just black people.
Asians, they say when you go up into the dojos and shit like that. I haven't been in there, but they say
the real
the eldest masters and shit, they be dark skinned with frozen.
The real samurais.
You know what I'm saying? They say you had to have a drop of African blood to be a samurai. That's what they say.
The original. You know yes.
And the DNA shit that was in my shit, the Japanese dude, part. He was like the Anu. That's some of the older tribes that they don't really talk about. They ran them off. You feel me? The Jomons came
before they started looking like what they look like today. Yeah,
I got into that like Asia. That shit.
This is when the
deep. The lighter clans came and started.
And this is when your environment start playing into how you start looking now. But the original Japanese people are black.
Listen.
So Chinese people was black too.
Nigga, you ever heard of the triangle theory? The triangle theory is basically saying that so you have white people at the top, you have black people at the top, the bottom, and then you have Japanese in the middle. So that basically means that, because if you think about it, the only other race outside of the white people in his story is the Chinese, the Asians. They're the only other people that own slaves. Before them, I'm talking about his story.
Yeah.
His story.
Yeah.
Our story go back to when we were being enslaved before we even got to America.
Yeah.
But in their story,
in a sense, some, you know how we were talking about earlier. So.
Exactly. But and if you want to go there,
in his story though, exactly.
Yeah, in his story, where they're talking about how the Chinese were some of the first to own slaves. Because you really want to go back.
Yeah.
African people were the first to actually enslave African people.
Like I said, the Arabs had slaves too. The Muslim slave trade, they did all that type of shit.
Oh, yeah. There's a reason why we lived in swamps. There's a reason why
it was different versions of slavery. The transatlantic was one of the most harshest ones.
That's when we've been sold over here.
You feel me? People just using it as intellectual property. Them dudes was like captured in war. They already was doing. You feel me? There was a time where niggas was just voyaging.
Yes.
You feel me? Conquering.
Now you just
studying
enemy
going into the earth. But
enemy
go
collateral.
there, you know what I'm saying? But this shit was just niggas waking up like, oh, we about to go grab these niggas. It started. That was the first corporation.
They were grabbing princes.
The transatlantic was the first corporation.
Bro, they was grabbing princes and royal blood and it literally send them away from their homes.
I have seen a video not long ago where they were showing like a few royal families that was caught up in the transatlantic.
Yes. You
feel me? But tribes was trading other tribes
easily
because all right, we about to get the guns from these niggas and whatever you about to tell us, and these are our enemies anyway. And we don't fuck with these niggas. Don't get them.
But take them.
But it kind of backfired on them too. So
a lot of black families were actually getting split up because before like the
all around the world.
Yeah, before the transatlantic slave trade, this is like I'm talking about this hiding in swamps because in Africa the Mediterranean areas was the place that a lot of people was inhabiting because that's the place where you're gonna get the most flourishing populations because that's the most best soil exactly. But during the slave trade, it was too open for you to populate in those Mediterranean areas. So after that, they had to learn how to survive in swamps.
Was white people here before the continental drift?
Ooh, I have theories on that, my brother. I really.
Good question.
I say no. I say no, there wasn't because I really believe white. I'm not gonna say that part.
They couldn't have been here before the continental drift, right? Hell no.
I think they were created.
All right, let's get into this.
I
think that now I'm kind of weighing up. I'm happy you said that. There might be levels to this shit though. Because white people, when we say white people, is different versions.
I don't believe in.
I think the albino shit with the shit is some. I think it's different batches at this point.
I don't believe in.
I think it's different batches.
I don't really believe in the flat Earth theory, but I theorize more in the hollow Earth theory.
And flat earthers are kind of hollow earthers.
Exactly. Really, because they play hand in hand.
Because they can't really pinpoint a fucking proof of it. You know, they going off of what is not.
Because even
what they're telling us is they air out the loopholes.
Because even in the Bible, they
I wouldn't be a full blown flat earther, but I like a person like
I like to look. I like exactly.
Figure this shit out. So their shit is y'all can. They're busting the loopholes in the head. Like, why is this? Why?
It's just a question.
And that's how. And look, in school, I remember my teachers would be like, "Act 3 before me." Like, but ask questions. That's
questions.
The people who really zombies, the people who never ask questions.
What they say, there's no such thing as a stupid question.
You know what I'm saying?
There's no such thing as a stupid question.
No such thing, exactly. You know what I'm saying? So
ask them
questions.
But
niggas will make you feel stupid for asking a question, right?
Right.
That's the crazy shit about that shit. But I'm like I said, I'm one of them people who believe in like the hollow Earth theory, and I believe in like the reptilian people and all of that type of shit as well. So because reptilian, if you want to go there, reptilian people are the one who really run this world politically. The webs, right?
What is really a reptilian?
The webs, right?
When I watch this is one cat, Crumb TV, when I watch him, he did the only one spin I see somebody say. He said, "We are the reptilians." He the only one, and that shit was interesting. Like, yo, you feel me? Because look at.
But also the reason,
shit, like,
the reason I'm saying that is because think about why we need to heat up the surface of the Earth. Global warming.
Yeah.
Because you need to make it more habitable for.
I feel like they're trying to. Well, I don't know.
Because reptilian needs warmer temperature. Why would they
do that? Yeah, exactly. But that's what. But look, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Right.
Are they trying to be us?
But that's why that will kill them off though.
But that's why they scared us away from 666.
Look at Blade. Look at Blade. Niggas turning because of the sun.
Oh.
True.
Come on, man.
This shit sounds kind of crazy.
Look at Blade, boy. This shit real. Hollywood. It's this documentary called Out the Shadows. It's hard to find it right now, but you can.
They say all
follow the rabbit hole, and you can still find it.
They say all the reptiles is in Hollywood and Washington D.C.
All of them.
Most of them.
All of the reptiles.
I think I'm a reptile too, bro. That too. Yeah, I really think
it's
that.
Different bloodlines.
I really think that this whole time I've been searching for aliens outside of me, when the whole time I should have been looking inside of me this whole time.
I think
it's all about knowledge of self, though.
That ass, my nigga.
That's what
I mean.
It's always war around to have knowledge of self.
I think you
have to know. That's why I said even if shit in space is probably us anyway.
This is the perfect person to tell this to. There's one time somebody told me they called me a self worshiper. This is one of those this is one of those Israelite people. He called me a self worshiper, and when he called me that shit, my nigga, I took so much offense to it at first because it's like, what? Nigga, I'm not a self-worshiper, because at that time, my thought was a self-worshiper is somebody who convinced themselves that they are a god above other people. Mm-hmm. But at this point, I'm here thinking, how am I not a god? And what he was going with the idea of a self-worshiper is, basically, I don't need to search for the Bible outside of me. It was already instilled within me, based off...
That's what he was saying?
Yeah, that's why he called me a self-worshiper, because the things that I say... I didn't search for it outside of me.
You didn't?
It was all in me.
Oh, okay.
Which means...
But he said the Bible's in you.
Exactly, which means I didn't need to worship a God outside of me.
Oh, okay.
I only had to acknowledge the God within me, because that's what the truth is.
All right, so I'm not understanding it.
So at first, I took offense to him calling me a self-worshiper, because I thought it was him just...
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but eventually I start to understand, like, oh shit, I am a self-worshiper. Not in the sense where I see myself as this God complex better than other people, but in the sense where I don't need to search for the truth outside of myself.
Right. You're a vessel in this atmosphere, in this whole universe.
I'm a piece of that truth.
Exactly, you're a piece of it. So what the fuck?
So why do I like? That's why I go. That's why I don't like religion. Religion always tell you you have to look for God outside of you. Why?
But that's what science here for, not that shit over there.
I don't even like science, because
science is manipulated. That's
exactly, because science is just magic to a diluted degree.
Yeah. Some science.
To an extent, when you get alchemists,
and not a lot of people understand what alchemy is.
The hardcore thing of science is really just watching with your eye and making fucking
observations. That's all science
is. That's all it is.
So let's get it right.
That's all it is. It's understood magic. It's understood magic.
Not even understood magic.
But it ain't gotta be magic. It can be just layman's terms. You know what I'm saying?
It's just real life.
No, I think some
going deep into alchemy and shit.
That's what I'm saying. I think certain forms of science.
Science done got, you know what I'm saying?
True, it has different foundations. Yeah,
niggas done turned up. You know what I'm saying?
Crazy shit.
Speaking of that, you ever watched the anime called Dr. Stone?
I don't watch anime besides Dragon Ball Z, but
I think you like Dr. Stone. I think you like Dr. Stone. Dr. Stone is not one of those fighting brutal animes like that. It's literally about niggas living in a modern world. Then some random being came from space and petrified the entire world, right? Then this nigga literally
made them scared.
What's that?
You said petrified, had the people scared?
Yeah, no, stones had them turn to stone, had the entire world turn to stone. So we basically reverted back to the Stone Age, and the first nigga who became undefossilized from the stone, this nigga said he spent his mind the whole time counting how long he was petrified. And then after that, he started rebuilding society because he was so trained on science. He was literally bringing modern technology into the stone world. He started bringing guns. He started bringing making gunpowder. He started making cell phones. He started doing all these things in the Stone Age, and it literally broke down things on an accelerated level, my nigga. And I think you'll enjoy that one right there.
Shit, after the Stone Age, the Iron Age ain't too. That shit come too. Hell yeah, I'm probably whipping up guns out of But shit, what you were saying about a being. Okay, so listen to this. The night before Dolph got killed, I'm driving on the highway. I'm getting off 29A. That's 29A or 39A? 29A.
That's on Capitol Avenue.
39A?
That's 39A.
39A.
84?
Yeah.
Yeah, 39A.
So bang, I get off right there, and you know how you go right there and instead like they gate right there, like the police can sit there or like construction
I
instructors.
know exactly what you're talking about because I slow down for that spot every time.
Right above the trees, I'm coming up. Let me explain this shit. So this shit crazy. Right above the tree, I'm coming up, and motherfucking, I see a star in my peripheral. You feel me? And then I see another star. They shining bright.
Moving fast.
One go. But shit, everything that happens after this move, everything moving faster than my thoughts in the sky at this point.
Okay.
Like every time I try to catch up to that shit, something else happens.
Something else different.
So I said, I'm like, yo, that's not a star. I already seen some shit in the sky in like the last like 4 years, like 2 different times. Me and my girl seen one. There's another one with like a cookout bus. It was never me alone in no wild shit. So bang. So, but this was the one me alone. This is something different though. But it says it's immediate. But this is what I'm gonna explain what I seen though. So bang, the star there. I see the star. That shit go. I'm like, no, this. What the fuck? That's not a plane. That's not nothing.
It's moving too fast.
Or
it's too far.
And it's far.
Yeah,
it's bright.
Too tiny.
Boom, boom, boom. So when I look up, I'm like, what? That should go.
Gone.
No, it comes into the atmosphere, nigga.
Oh.
It's a beam. It's green. I'm like, is it a glitch in the world? Like, this is like a video game. It's like, yo! It green. And it goes beyond the trees and it's turning orange at the bottom. When it coming down, like, it's coming down so fast, my body get the chill, like, I'm bracing for impact. Like, my skin, like, oh, like, you feel me? So, I go on Reddit the next day. I go on Google, like, yo, in the sky, UFO, nothing. Still searching, like, the next few days. Reddit, going to a forum. They explaining, oh, it sounds like a meteorite. I seen a meteor shower before. It was years ago when they had that club in East Hartford. And that night, I remember on the news, they were saying, like, it's going to be one of the meteor showers that was, like, around the time when the dinosaurs was here and exterminated or whatever, but it was going through the atmosphere. And I remember being in the club that night, forgetting all about it, being sauce, and seeing a meteor shower. Like the dance floor, you hear everybody different, like, oh, you feel me? But it looked like grains of rice, like how they explained it was going to be on the news. It was like, like shooting stars.
Yeah.
This shit was crazy. This is another. So I said, I seen a meteor shower before. This is some other shit. I'm like, what the fuck? Different. Like, I'm like, did light just bend? It just shot a beam out the sky? Like, this shit was wild. But at first, it started off like an orb. So when they was explaining already, I'm like, maybe I could have seen that. It's so small because it's coming into the atmosphere fast as fuck. But at first, it was stuck. But did I just see it like stuck? Or maybe I just see it come into the atmosphere? Yeah. I don't know.
Like it's forcing its way past.
It's happening fast. Like, it's moving faster than my thoughts. When I'm thinking about it, I can't think. There's no way I'm getting the camera on nothing. Because if I got a camera, I would have missed it. Would this happen? Whoa! I'm like, what the fuck?
You ever seen the movie Don't Look Up?
Yeah.
I just seen it recently.
I just watched it.
But it was like a comedy. I'm like, what the fuck?
It was a comedy.
But they made it a comedy for a reason.
I know.
For a reason.
Yeah.
I don't watch something that said like the comedy movies. Those
be the deepest
shit
shit
in Hollywood.
Yes, because if you can make a joke out of heavy shit, then it's like desensitizing us to it when it actually happens.
It was a comedy with Leonardo DiCaprio in it.
Yeah,
for
that's
sure,
how
right.
you know there's something different about that.
And think about it like this: Jonah Hill was not one of the funniest. He played an idiot in that. Where has Jonah Hill played an idiot that big in a fucking comedy, bro?
Right.
He's played idiots, yes,
but not that
big of an idiot. So things like that, man. That shit wild. But
they said it was a meteor shower. Push on the shove though. When I looked it up, they said it was a meteor on Reddit, and then I looked it up on. You feel me? And they got one news clip in Connecticut. They like the linear showers. This happened in time of years. If you stay up, you'll see it in the dark and you'll see these shits coming. I'm like, why I never heard of this shit in my life?
Oh, speaking of that, right? I was watching.
Why is this now happening?
I was watching that documentary on Netflix, right? I don't even know if it's still up there. I don't even know what the fuck the name is, my nigga. But this is when I was like deep into my documentary type shit. I came across this documentary that actually had Connecticut in it, and it talked about how niggas from Connecticut going all the way up to Mass in like a straight route, my nigga, literally had the same UFO sighting.
That won't be surprised right there.
That's not even my first thing. Now, this is my own personal story with that,
That's
right?
Connecticut. We share a lot of shit.
Yes. So I used to work at Massage Envy.
The person who created that conquered Connecticut and started founding it, he's from Mass.
What's his name again? They have the statue of him downtown.
It's not Hooker, is it?
Yeah, Hooker.
Hooker it is.
No, that's the ale nigga. The bar nigga.
Thomas Hooker, I'm talking about.
Yeah, that's is that the nigga that owned the Hooker Ale?
I don't know about
that's
that.
the bar nigga. I forgot his name. He used to have a statue.
Thomas Hooker got the school and all that
Yeah,
shit.
but so I used to work at Massage Envy, right? So this is when I started learning like the spiritual properties of massages.
Okay.
So You heard of Reiki masters and shit like that, right? Reiki masters are people who do energy work through massage. Mm-hmm. So this is people who help balance out your chakras through massages and shit like that. Yep. And they help remove impurities from your body and shit. But so this lady came into my job. She came to get a massage. I was the person who greeted her and all of that. So she got her massage and she came out. She's telling me, she's like, for some reason, like a lot of people, especially at this time, older white women just vibe to me very well. Like they just opened up to me and everything. I literally had an older white woman kiss me on the cheek at that time. This is before COVID times. But
disclaimer. You said this was before COVID times.
So she came in there, we talking. She came after her massage. She was like, to be honest with you, O'Shane, she's like, I feel like I gave him more. No, my massage therapist told me he got more therapy from her than he gave her. Then she come in here, she telling me how when she was a child, a teenager, her and one of her aunts was her same age, in Middletown, was driving under an underpass under Middletown, right? They came across this bright light. And after that, shit just went blank. She just remember being what's them beams that kind of pull you up? The tractor beams? She's trying to remember one of those after that bright light. She said it was her aunt at the age of her aunt boyfriend. She said when she got home, both their parents was sick about them because they were gone for hours. In her mind, she was only going for a couple minutes. So when she got there, she said she went to the doctor one time. She never got her tonsils removed. She went to the doctor one time. The doctor said to her, she said, I don't know who have done your tonsils, but your tonsils were cut with such precision. And all she said to the doctor was, I never got my tonsils removed.
I got my shit removed.
So it's like a lot of alien visitations have actually happened in Connecticut.
I don't know.
In Connecticut.
Connecticut, this is one of the first colonies anyway.
Yo, Connecticut have some dark history. Shit. You ever heard of the Nike base?
No.
Nike base?
The Nike base is in Cromwell, Connecticut.
Yo, shut the fuck up.
It's not what you think it is, bro.
Drunk at all.
Damn. You want to know what it is?
Yeah, let me get a little bit. Yo, let me hear this one real quick.
So,
I don't know where the fuck
Nike
this shit going right now.
It's not what you think it is.
I was hoping it was.
It's in Cromwell, Connecticut. And this is where, at the time, they were actually classified as Cromwellians. Yeah, Thomas Hooker. Yep. Yeah. So these were they're called Cromwellians. These were actually around, I think it was happening in the 1940s. They were actually kidnapping and murdering Japanese people at a specific place in Cromwell. It's actually fenced off at the time we were going there. It was all fenced off, bro. The Nike thing? I remember when we were
wait.
My boy was messing with.
Why the fuck are they shipping Japanese people in?
I think this was around World War II.
Around World War II, the Japanese was in concentration camps. It was a big thing about that. I think they got paid reparations and shit.
Yeah, they did. They definitely did. Before niggas.
Around that time.
Mama.
And so around this time,
the drum roll.
my boy was messing with this white girl around this time, so she was putting it on us on this little crazy point. There's actually a haunted asylum in Cromwell as well.
There's mad haunted shit already.
Yeah, so she brought us to the Nike base. So as we're sneaking in, remember there's a closed fence, it's fenced off, but there's an opening that people made. As we're walking in, it's by a apartment complex. Mm-hmm. As we're walking in, there's this nigga just standing in the cut of his doorway on his porch on his apartment building, just watching us. I thought that was creepy at first. I'm high though, so I thought that was creepy. So I'm like, all right, bet, whatever. I'm with people. I'm walking in there. Niggas walk in there. We walk into a building, right? Filled with graffiti and everything. Nothing but like ash and everything all over the floor. Niggas walked in there. Come to find out, niggas was literally walking on the ashes of the Japanese people that they tortured and burned in those places.
There's still a lot of ashes there?
They're in buildings. They're in the buildings.
Oh, shit.
So the buildings is not all the way open.
In Cromwell?
Yes.
Wow.
In Cromwell.
Do they got like articles about it and shit?
Nah, we just got put on because we niggas dealing with the white girl. She was just throwing us on. I think this was near
Did y'all research it and make sure you're talking some real shit? Like, yo.
Bro, back then?
Yes.
Yeah.
Motherfuckers be in there just getting lit and burning up shit.
That's crazy.
This is one of them white girls that dated black guys just because it made her parents mad.
No, she might be telling the truth.
Which means her parents, her parents, like her grandparents and she was affiliated with like the mafia and shit like that. So they knew different things.
In Connecticut, the first, I think witch hanging was in Connecticut in the U.S.
The Puritans.
They say it was in Salem, but this one, it was one day it was like a babysitter in like Hartford, Connecticut. They hung out like the downtown area, like I don't know. And then the ones in Salem and Mass started popping up like. But I remember the reason I had gotten deep into that because, in 2006 when I was my junior year, over the summer, that's when I moved to San Diego, whatever. My mom sent me out there, whatever, and staying out there, and I do one semester in school in San Diego, and I had to. They couldn't get our grade system right because it's the whole opposite side.
Yeah,
that shit was
way backwards.
Different. Yeah, it was like they like what?
As Americans were backwards with everything.
They ain't know where to put me. They had me in some high honor classes out there and did some other shit. Like they ain't know where to put me. Like what the fuck? So bang, I had to start reading the Crucible, and they moved me in the English class like twice in one semester, like 2-3 times. They didn't know where to put me, and I had to read it like multiple times. Came back here and had to read it again. When I transferred back on the second semester, you feel me? Like
because we're backwards, we're behind.
2 more times, it was crazy. So I knew that shit front and back. I got here, came here, was getting 100 on that shit. Like, I read this shit, I know this shit.
But in the 3rd grade, when I came up from Jamaica, I knew a lot of shit. Like mathematically, I knew a lot of shit that was already being taught.
Because y'all got a different school.
Yeah, we're more advanced mathematically.
Like I said, they only put 63 million into education out here in the China.
And we only go to school for like what?
Million.
We only go to school for like 180 days of the month out of the year.
Yeah.
Chinese people go like what, almost 300.
Hell of time.
So it's like that's why I shout out to like schools like Capital Prep and shit like that, like the prep school and shit that make you go to school like even on like 6 days a week.
Yeah.
Like
right.
Like I don't know. I feel like we should be taking more time to cultivate in our youth. If we say our youth is our future, like that whole no child left behind shit is bullshit. That shit is bullshit. That was just a reason for you to pass off the people that you didn't want to deal with.
When Martin Luther King said, since his day just passed, they don't put this last speech. I fear I may have integrated my people into a burning building.
Yes. He actually said that when he linked up with Malcolm X. He tell y'all nigga he regretted all the things that he
education,
said.
Everything like when we
there's a reason why this nigga. There's a reason why he's one of the only civil rights niggas who have his own birthday that's celebrated nationally.
It was an article
because he was killed by the U.S. government, bro.
And proven in superior court. And proven in superior court.
Everything.
Exactly.
It was an article in Connecticut that said like, yo, Connecticut is still highly segregated because
look at New Haven, Bridgeport.
We're integrated more in the work field, but even in the work field, we're still segregated.
Oh yeah,
like the wealth gap and all that shit. Like
I believe that.
I'm like, they brought that shit down, but I believe that shit.
I believe that.
We know that. We ain't got to read. We ain't living that. Like,
I think CT's
racist. I had jobs like, yo, this shit crazy out here. This shit.
And that's why they make it illegal.
They always change managers. Managers will never be the same, so niggas always get tired of it. Yeah, this shit wild.
And what they kind of made it illegal for you to talk about your paycheck as well too, and how your pay earnings and shit. Like, nigga, what? You telling me I can't be chilling with my coworkers on a slow day and tell them niggas these niggas ain't paying me shit because they paying me $15 an hour? I can't say that. Like, you legally can get in trouble for that.
Oh, I ain't hear about that. Maybe. I don't know.
Yo, Connecticut have some of the weirdest laws, my nigga. I'm gonna get into a rant.
One of the first colonies.
Yeah, I'm gonna get into one of
the
first colonies.
I'm gonna say one of the weirdest ones ever. You can't kiss your wife on a Sunday. It's actually illegal to kiss your wife on a Sunday.
You know
it's actually illegal. It's illegal to educate your dog.
Your dog?
Yep, and it's also illegal to cross the street on your hands.
Yo, maybe I researched that right there. This shit crazy.
You want to know how I learned all of these? Because when I was in high school, when they gave us planners, the planners came with like random facts on the pages.
Wow.
I thought you was passing. Yeah, they came with like random facts on the pages.
And you gotta know them real, because you know certain states that
every state have a random. Every state have laws that still uphold today that was like formed in like the 1800s.
Right.
Every state have at least one law like that.
So here go one. In the high school manual, it was high. There was a part of the manual that said you can bring your shotgun in your automobile as long as it's unloaded and in the back. Unloaded, back seat, and ammo in the trunk.
You could drive with liquor in the car as long as it's not open and in the front seat.
And here's a new law. In Bloomfield, you can't eat at a fast food restaurant in your car.
In Bloomfield?
Yeah.
You can't eat at a fast food restaurant in your car.
When has this become a law?
I'm happy you told me that because them niggas will enforce
Yeah.
that bum shit.
Yep.
I know how they do all
that. That is a law. So
wow.
That's a thing for everybody.
What if I eat in the parking lot of the fast food restaurant?
You can't eat in the parking lot of the fast food restaurant.
Don't eat in McDonald's in Bluefield. Compacto. Don't do it.
Facts.
Get your shit and go. Get your Wendy's.
Hey, does it count for the whole plaza or just for that where the restaurant is? Can I put in like the Five Below plaza?
I just know I had an office job and I was real bored and I saw them facts. And
I thought you got pulled over for eating in the parking lot.
Nah.
Lurch on the check-in. Okay.
My nigga Lurch, you should have been here.
Right. We back.
Thanks, Sean.
Shout out to Hell.
I thought Lurch was gonna be here.
Yo, you and Lurch,
you
and Lurch is some of the niggas that are infamous for coming up with name changes, yo. Matter of fact,
he be changing like all the time.
Before we even, because we're probably like we're like for this one and we're 45 minutes in right now.
That's it.
Yeah, but the other one was probably like 30 minutes.
I thought we was in for a minute.
We in.
Yeah, the other one was like 30 minutes, and again, the other one was like 30 minutes. So we're over.
We start 8 something.
Yeah, definitely had like 30 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
So before we roll out and shit like that, we want to get into who you are and talk about the history of Future Allah, Future X, the Yank Anthem, and shit like that real quick. I want to make this a time for Future to talk his shit real quick because you always talk your shit on Facebook, so we're gonna bring it to the podcast right now. So who's the first to come out with the Yank dance?
I was gonna ask that too.
The first one was the Yank dance?
Yeah. I want to know the history. What's the history of it?
Damn, that's a question.
Yeah.
The 2022.
That's one of the first few things Connecticut is still known for.
No, we know, Yankin. I'm the first person to come up with that shit. Like,
so you came up with the idea
and
of
make this song. Yes, like in the instance of what it is now. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So let me go into it.
Go ahead.
It's around 06, you feel me? I come back from California. Linking with Mac LP and them. We started doing talent shows and shit. So we buzzing. You feel me? I gotta go to the story because it's early. That's Yankin is the beginning. That's my first catalog. Like,
how old
first
are you?
project I ever put out. I'm like 17, 18, you know what I'm saying? Niggas young. So when I come back from Cali, I'm like 16, 17. So bang, we out there, we doing talent shows. I remember we finished the talent show at Weaver. Dudes like, yo, because everybody come back like, yeah, hey, fucking with y'all. I'm shutting this down, you feel me? At the time, we like, no, ain't rappers winning those talent shows. Niggas telling them, ain't no rappers winning, you feel me? Blah, blah, blah. So they like, yo, you got to be with 6 figures, blah, blah. I come to the ultimatum one day. I'm like, fuck it, I'm down. You feel me? But I'm going to still do my solo shit. I told them that. So we made the MySpaces.
Okay.
MySpace we start jumping on MySpace. You know what I'm saying? So MySpace is what inspired Yankin too. Like all that shit that was going on. The internet was just coming in. The first time I had MySpace, I'm living in California. You know what I'm saying? My cousin and my boy Bryce at the time, he lived in Oregon outside of Bryce. Home like, yo, get on the internet. We getting on chat lines, chat rooms. I wasn't on the computers back home like that, doing that shit. Like, hell no.
Like that.
I'm outside, you feel me? So with these guys, you feel me? In Cali, I had shit to do. They like, aim, all that shit. You feel me? So bang. I get back to school, come back to French Tech, whatever. I remember one person in the class like, yeah, I got MySpace, this girl. I can't remember who it was. She's like, I got MySpace. And that was like senior year. And then like 2, 3, 4 weeks later, it just blew up in Connecticut.
Everybody's yanking.
Like Cali, the whole school damn near had that shit already. You know what I'm saying? People already.
So niggas was yanking in Cali before they
just had MySpace, is what I'm saying.
Oh, MySpace,
yeah.
Okay.
I'm just bringing it in.
This is the story.
So what influenced me too at the time, I remember going to the hot club at the time, coming back, we getting deep in the streets, we back outside, all this type of wild shit going on. Niggas gonna get shot at, all type of wild shit. And motherfucking, the hot club coming around, Smooth Hands had Sucker for Nookie out.
Yes, that's This is around the same time that Smooth came out with that.
06, 07, you know what I'm saying? All that shit. 05, you feel me coming in.
Because Sucker for the Nookie was their anthem.
Just like 08, everything. I'm hearing this shit. So bang. Motherfucking, I'm like, we in the club. I'm like, this shit ringing on. You feel me? Max out at the time.
Yeah, Max was definitely hard at the time.
So we in the club. So in the original Yankin' It song, I'm just describing nights at the hot club or any other party we was at the time. We just living our lives. You feel me? Doing that shit. My cousin he came up with the Southside dance. It was him and another person. The second person, both of them motherfuckers are sketchy these days, so I ain't gonna be in give them. They always say who it could be. It could juggle, but Head is that main nigga that they say. You feel me? He did the Southside dance. That's what. And around like 08, 07, that was one of the newest dances that everybody was seeing in the club. So it was fire in the hood. Like everywhere we going, niggas like, oh, and mind you, I'm a person that's always been. I knew people from all over. You know what I'm saying? Because I do too much. I play basketball, football, all that. Man, you rapping, all type of shit, going to school, all type of shit, just being outside.
So he's known out here.
Big family.
Yeah,
they got a big family. You know what I'm saying? So blah blah blah. So in the club, I'm realizing what's going on. I'm looking at this shit. So in my head, I used to know how to freak all the hood dance. You know, niggas be at home, be chilling like, yo, look at these niggas, look at this. So me and my boy Jaw, rest in peace, we'd be in his cousin basement on York, and he'd play mad different songs, whatever, and he'd shout out the hood, and then I just do their dance like, each one he'd be like, hey, 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 so bang. So one day I'm in the studio with 2-4, Tiny at the time, and I'm like, just fast forward. MySpace already buzzing. You know what I'm saying? I'm already buzzing on MySpace. We already dropping shit. Videos going viral, damn near everything. Riding the bus, all type of shit. Jumping on instrumentals, me and Mac. So fucking this now is like 08. And I'm making my first project. I'm like, I'm about to put something on that piff. Internet project. Early, you feel me? I'm like, everything going in there. I already had LimeWire. I was getting all the music on there, everything. We bootlegging shit, everything. So I put the first few singles on MySpace and shit. So Yanking was one of them that went viral. So I'm in the studio one day with Nick, 2-4, and I'm like, yo, I need to make something, anthem something for the radio, but it's gonna be this dance shit, because at the time Soulja Boy was on fire. Yeah. And I already seen the example, and I was a MySpace nigga out here, you feel me? That was lit. So like I gotta do, you feel me, follow them footsteps, try to do some shit like that, you know what I'm saying? So it was a bunch of shit that inspired it, because every hood already had their own dance, but like I said, Wolf had me already doing it. We doing dances, I'm mixing everything up. Yeah. So that song that's just me making it up, you know what I'm saying? Because it's me formulating in the song. I'm saying, all of y'all need to do your dance, throw your hood up, and mix your dances up. And I got live performances where I performed it at New Britain Talent Show.
Yeah, I was gonna ask about that one.
And it got big, it got popular. So I made it more popular for regular people to do hood dance. That shit wasn't known at the time. It wasn't nothing that people
because there wasn't no specific.
It was hot. The streets was real at the time. You know what I'm saying? Nobody wasn't doing no shit like that. Yeah. Unless you about to bang out, you gonna do their dance and cut their shit off. Yeah. But I made a song. And I remember just being in the hood, people like, yo, this shit hard. Different hood. Like, yo. You let me keep doing this shit, you feel me? But at the time, I never did a video for it because my cousin Head was always in jail and I wanted him to be in it. Niggas to always be locked up, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Some wild shit, so I just never did a video for the original song. But everybody knew it because I performed it. It was on MySpace. People had it on their pages. People love that shit, like, you know what I'm saying? So
with that being said,
but then I revamped it again anyway with 2-4 in 2016.
You did.
And that was played on Hot 93.7. It actually was on DJ Michi's March Madness list of top singles of the year. It was getting played so much. And I was performing there. I opened up for Uzi. I performed everywhere. I know. Sold out shows.
I know.
And then Yank Rhythm popped in 2017.
And this is what I'm going to say. This is also
humbleness. I like
it. It was on the radio. How that makes sense?
This is the time where you also...
coming up to me at my show like, yo, keep performing that.
And
then niggas producing songs for other people.
This was the time you was also...
And they act like I ain't the inspiration at least. Like, what the fuck?
But this was the
time...
They
want to put it on Zoe. Rest in peace,
That's
Zoe.
what I'm saying.
But this was
the time you were going in on the people.
This was real people know, like you people.
This was the time you was going on people for like giving you credit for being the originator of the dance. You kind of was on Facebook, my nigga.
After a while, that's what I'm trying to tell you. At first, I didn't give a fuck at first.
I thought it was a publicity thing. I thought it was a publicity thing because at the end of the day, not just you, but Snow Pro was eating off that publicity at the time as well too.
Yeah, maybe.
Because this was when she dropped. This one she became popping for her song as well too.
Yeah. So I don't know if she wanted that publicity. I didn't want it.
But that's what I'm saying. I thought it was a publicity
thing.
That
to me, it was the people. At first, I didn't.
It was kind of like when
Rosie my phone. People texting me is blowing up. I spoke to her on the phone. You know what I'm saying?
I know it. That's what I'm saying. But it kind of looked like you was kind of like going in on all of these people, like, oh, everybody out here giving credit to the wrong people or who committed with the dance and shit like that.
Mainstream shit, yeah.
Yeah, so you wanted your credit.
Of course.
Because you deserved it.
I shouldn't even have to ask for that dumbass shit. When I'm the one who started. But y'all titled it after that.
Are you getting your credit now from these artists who's been popping off?
I don't speak to people like that. I don't know. I'm working. I'm doing me. I got to think about a game right now. Mad Scientist. Listen to that.
Video about to drop soon.
I was telling everybody else in the studio, man. Somebody else had a conversation. I'm like, yo, that's just a portion of my catalog. I made Yanking it in 08.
And honestly, I like.
And I influence these dudes. Like, it's not like they influence on them. It's like they never seen my shit.
Yeah, you are the influencer of that shit. You were the originator of that shit.
Zoe never had a Yank song in his life. After he died, they changed the original song and put Yank in the caption. I've seen all shit. And people know that. All right. Why you think they're giving it to me? Ain't nobody in his camp that never gave it up to me. Not one person. So, you know what I'm saying? Everybody know. Like, what? He made the dancing shit more lit again. Like, you know what I'm saying? But when it came to Tyler and Yank rhythm, yanking, niggas know that. Shump made the beat. Shump used to make beats for me. He was on stage at the talent show. Yeah. He's on stage with us on footage.
I just remember.
That's the first time I met him.
I just remember all that.
But that's not to play nobody. It's the real story.
With the big ass white tee and the baggy jeans. I remember it.
He had like a suit on though. He was like a host.
I forgot who had the big ass white tee.
Mad people had big.
I know. It was mad niggas with the big ass white tee on. The Soldier Boy look.
Right. It was lit. When I sang the song, I said, you see me in the club, you know that I be yanking it. I feel like Soldier Boy. The way that I be cranking it, cause but look who was on the hook. When you hear the like ow, it go ow. We took Max B. That's Max B. Chopped it from Max B song. He said ow, ow. Nigga, I be yanking it. Yank. That's the original shit.
Yo, Max was lit at that time. Max was lit.
He's my streets was in the
yes.
That was the first time I heard.
Yes.
Like, what the fuck? When I first heard Max, I didn't even like Max at first.
Even if you wasn't in the club, you heard about Max.
Nah, you gotta understand the vibe Max.
I had to smoke sour and drink, get sauce.
And drink Remy.
Yo, I was with my cousin Shoshi and her baby father one night, and they like, yo, they like, they like. That was the first time I smoked papers too, yo, because I was still Dutchess. It was a lot.
I hated my Dutchess days.
They had me in the papers, and then they had rolled some sour, and then they were like, yo, listen to this Mac. It was PD3 maybe. So I got on something around PD3, but that was like, that whole shit was fire because it was this album. When you find out later, I was just coming in. Niggas like, yo, he talking about Jim Jones. Like,
the whole thing.
I'm like, what? The whole shit. And it was original beats, Dane Grease, all that. It was fire. But I remember just smoking with them one night. Sauce, done on. The next day I played that shit. I knew every word. Like, how the fuck? I knew every song. Damn, like,
it's just sour. Yeah, Hartford Sour was different. Real. Yeah, let's talk about that real quick.
Back in them days,
Hartford Sour.
We were smoking sour in the studio a minute ago, and I'm like, no, this ain't.
That's what
we was smoking,
my nigga. Hartford Sour was the type of sour, like as a teenager who was smoking, right, and their parents they allowed them to smoke and would literally cuss them, beat them if they came home smelling like weed.
That's what I told him. I said, yo,
I couldn't.
This not smelling up. I couldn't keep
it in my room,
bro. I had an ounce. I tried to bag up an ounce before I left my mom's house. Start selling weed early. Bagged up an ounce. My mom came in. I was like, what the fuck is that?
Even if you tuck it in all your clothes,
whatever you smoke in my house, I'm like, I ain't even smoked this in my head. I'm like, I bag this shit up. I ain't even smoked it.
Just in the drawer.
I did not smoke that shit, bro.
It just take over the whole room.
Honestly, wow.
A spliff of Hartford Sour is supposed to literally make you drop asleep. You're supposed to,
I used to call it. No, I'm happy you said that. I used to call it the movie effect or some shit. The slideshow effect. Because we'll get high off that shit. I remember with my cousin Bo. This one sour was at its prime.
Yeah.
When people were saying that it was so-called may have been dipped in cocaine. That's what people were saying.
I remember.
It was so somebody said that a lick had smoked it or some shit. We told them like, yo, this shit might have like they might be doing something to this. But look, I would get high off that shit and just be like something in the car, and then open my eyes and we'd be somewhere else. And then I'd be something in the car, and I used to be like, it's like a
slideshow
movie, nigga. This shit knocking me the fuck out.
Cause the sour always got you sleepy.
Wow, shit.
Always, it never fails, yo. But niggas, this is when
I don't have sour that kept me up though. That's a crazy.
Niggas just smoking sour and just burning their rubber.
But this, that's not. My chest just hurt.
That's exactly what that combination was.
The type of grabber niggas to put in the microwave to fucking.
Everybody was going to burn that first. That was the introductory.
Oh no, it was on, and then after that was Miller's when they opened. When they opened at one point. They literally you actually used to heat their grabber up for you in their microwave.
They the person that had the hot grabbers too. I think.
Yes.
I'm not sure. Like,
and they would heat it up for you in their microwave in the store. Like I really think back of it, niggas used to literally smoke grabber that was heated up in a microwave, bro.
Oh yeah, yo, dudes what? Yo, hell yeah, dudes are doing that.
We're sick.
I mean, I used to warm my grabber.
But they just put it over the stove.
Yes. Yo, there's time.
That shit was hard. That was a struggle. Yes.
What I used to do was
I'm happy that shit broke it down.
In the summertime, I used to
big up to the grabber community, man, for breaking that shit down.
Yeah, because niggas used to have to.
I don't mind smoking no more, but
what I used to do in the summertime was I used to roll all my windows up in the car and just put it on the dashboard and just let it dry out.
That's what everybody was doing that. I think like put it up there.
I know a niggas.
I
know niggas used to put it on their engine, the top of their engine.
I seen that too.
Yes, niggas put it on the top of their car engine while they driving to Keeney Park.
The wildlife.
Yes, and by the time they get to Keeney Park, my nigga, the grabber dry already and ready to crumble.
Have you ever seen somebody smoke weed out of the grabber leaf?
Yes, in New York.
We doing that shit.
I did it in Jamaica.
The first time I ever seen grabber was back in probably like 05. And we in the backyard, my people in the house, and they smoking it, and we rolling it up. I was doing that shit for a while.
Yeah.
It was almost like a backwood at the time.
In New York, that's how you did it. In New York, before they started lighting it.
And we were smoking it out of there. I remember OG to have it.
It wasn't hot grabber though. It wasn't hot grabber. It was like more natural. It was more the natural side.
It had to be. It was like
when I went to
like a leaf like.
When I went to Jamaica, that's what I used to do. My PPs used to grow their own grabber, so what they used to do is to bring me home leaves. And what I used to do is they gave me. It was the red rose grabber, which was
red rose.
Red rose
at first.
It
that's
was
what
funny.
They were saying about that early. The
red rose. It was not even originated from Jamaica, because even in Jamaica, it was imported. It came from Canada in Jamaica. Wow. I didn't learn that. Jamaicans in Canada. I didn't even learn that until I got to Jamaica. Niggas was telling me, nah, the red rose not even grown from here. Like from here, you get the natural grabber. The natural grabber used to literally just roll the weed up, because you just dry it, just moderate. Just so it don't crumple, and you roll your weed up in that shit and you smoke it directly from there. The taste of the weed different, and the way it hits you different, my nigga. I used to love it because I brought up a whole.
At Friday Day, they had the red rose for a second.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah,
they did. Because the red rose was still up to this day the best grubber out here. The best. But I think the most lethal grubber I ever had. My cousin one day cured his own, my nigga. You know, niggas used to cure their grubber with water. Nah, this nigga cured his grubber with rum.
What type of shit?
Bro, I see niggas throw up off the scrubber though.
I bet, motherfucker.
Yak.
Yeah, of course.
Yak, my nigga. This shit.
Some of the best grabber is when niggas stole some of the tobacco out of a barn.
Nah, it be the grabber that is dropped off when they traveling to the barn. Because I did the tobacco farms before, and I see how they. Yeah.
I remember back in the day when dudes used to be like, go to the tobacco farm and work in Bloomfield.
Hell
tobacco
no.
farm. I was like, man, I ain't never do that shit.
The back of my neck got so black, I was
good. But they were saying like 500, you'll get like a pound or some wild shit. Remember those back in the day? Slave work.
The back of my nape got so black, I was good on that, my nigga. I was good.
Never.
You can't have a black nape back in the day, though. Your black nape look like your neck dirty.
That shit just sounded good. I just always thought about slavery when I heard about it.
Me too. All these niggas talking about, I get all this money summertime. I'm like, yeah, nigga, I'm having fun summertime. I'm busting fire hydrants.
Right. Facts. I remember had a rock in my foot fucking with a fire hydrant.
Nigga, I remember the first fire hydrant we bust.
When I was young, all the time.
The fire truck came within 30 minutes. Dead ass. Firefighters came in within 30 minutes just because we busted fire hydrants.
Because you fucked up the street.
Nigga, we literally bust all 3
hooligans.
Openings. We got the big ass wrench. Screwed that shit over.
Y'all kids, so y'all don't know. Well, once you do that shit, all the fucking water from the hose,
the pressure
goes away.
The pressure.
It's like, nigga, like, you fucked up people fucking, niggas can't take a shower, nigga.
That's why you only should do that when the block outside.
That's why.
And nobody give a fuck.
The block was outside. The block was outside. All the kids was outside.
It's valid.
And it was an adult that did it. So we're all good.
Do that shit and fuck up, and nobody can take a bath for 2 days, nigga.
Alright, I'm gonna tell this one last story before we go out. Alright. So I had very bad anger issues when I was growing up, right? The worst thing you could have called me between the ages of like 14 and 16 was little.
Nigga,
little. If you called me little in any way,
that for short people with the
short syndrome. Anytime you called me little, I just got mad. So this one time, this girl came around. I don't know. I think she just figured it out. Niggas was playing basketball.
Niggas said she just figured it out. I know what they call this little motherfucker. Little.
Yeah, I was talking shit. Don't get me wrong. I was talking shit. I was talking shit at this time. So niggas, this one we had all the basketball hoop on the streets. So niggas had the basketball hoop on the street. She came around. I remember I was talking shit to her. I don't remember what I said. I just remember her calling me little. And I don't know what happened. I blacked the fuck out, my nigga. And I just got so mad. I got the basketball. I ran up to the basketball hoop and I dunked that ball so fucking hard, I literally broke the hoop. I broke the hoop. And she looked at me and just laughed, and I just felt so bad about myself.
Yo.
Because I sit there and thought about it, like, who did this? Like who did I hurt? About myself.
Right. And my hoop.
Who did I? And I broke the hoop. And I broke the hoop. Now we had no hoop. Even though the neighbors was calling the cops on us just for having the hoops on the street across from her house.
Yeah, there you go.
It was a struggle growing up in Hartford as a teenager, as a child, yo.
They definitely hated niggas balling. We used to be in the street with it. My cousin and them, Oakland Terrace, that's all they did, just ball in the
And
street.
then wait for the car to drive by
Like
and
a
then start rolling again.
Well, Keeney Park was right there too.
Yeah, I used to play rugby. We used to call it Rumble Fumble.
I used to play Rumble Fumble.
Rumble Fumble.
Regular.
Yo, why aren't we not injured here? How did we not get broken bones from Rumble Fumble?
Broken legs, all that shit. Like
we used to tackle each other on fucking concrete sometimes.
Everybody on the field is getting at you.
Yes. Actually, I got another dumb story.
Turn up.
That just reminded me of another dumb story. It was actually after a very hot day in Hartford. You know Hartford gets very hot in the summertime.
Yeah, it can.
For some reason, niggas got drunk off a 12-pack of a Corona, my nigga. Niggas is like 21, 22 years old. They got drunk off a 12-pack of Corona, nigga. So for some reason, all the niggas on the block at the time decides we wanted to see who was the fastest. But we thought it wasn't fair only because everybody didn't have shoes on. So how we level it out and balance it out? Everybody raced barefoot.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of wild. You do that in the streets
Bro.
of Hartford?
Yes.
Barefoot?
Like I said, I had rocks and nails in my shit before.
Bro, you seen
yeah.
if you seen some of the niggas' feet after, you feel like they were kunta kenta after a bad night, my nigga. It was horrible, dog. Some niggas' feet had blisters so bad it looked like that shit was burning.
Oh, yeah, bro.
It was horrible. It was horrible. Thank you guys for tuning in, man. Thank you, Future Allah.
Wait, what was the lesson for that story?
It was never a lesson for that. Why do you need a lesson?
It was never for that.
This is not a fairy tale, my nigga. Yeah.
I just told us a story about blessings on niggas' feet, and I was like,
man.
all right, yeah, let's go.
I'm just telling y'all we're dumb.
That's the moral of the story. Don't be dumb.
Yeah.
Don't be dumb. You got any last words? Future X, Future Allah, Yanklin, whatever you want to be fucking called. Mr. I change name every 2 years.
OSS 4 coming out.
Iceman 5 out.
Single with the game Mad Scientist out right now.
Check that out.
Mm-hmm.
Got more shit coming, but animated video coming soon. Hopefully in the next few days, next week. Trying to get that shit right.
Come on, animator. Get that out.
Right. He used to call me before. That's what I was on the phone with before I came here.
I heard your conversation.
Illuminated Minds with J Hood out. EP.
Bup.
It's all over it. Title, Spotify, Iceman 5 out, and everything else. Yeah, man. YouTube, all that good shit.
Where can they find you?
Instagram, FutureX_Creation Lords. Facebook, Future X. And all on all the platforms, Future X. TikTok, Spotify, Tidal, Google Play. Y'all get the picture.
There you go.
Mm-hmm.
Follow my guy everywhere, man. One of my favorite songs from me one time was it Spiritual Warfare? Was that the name of it?
Mm-hmm.
Fucking love. That's like
that
my.
OSS
That was my
2.
Yes, that's my first favorite song from you. That ass. First.
Matter of fact, we linked up around that time.
Yeah.
You alert. I think you alert. Matter of fact, around that time.
Yes. First favorite
Like a
song.
motherfucker.
At least I can remember. I just wanted to finish up with that. Let niggas know the niggas been fans for a while. You doing your thing, man. And all the industries, please reach out. Please reach out. My niggas is putting up the numbers. He's putting up the numbers.
Facts.
Reach out.
Mad Scientist, go get that. It's at 76,000 streams right now, so y'all got to run that up.
Yeah. NBT, next big thing. Next big thing. Whatever that shit. I'm drunk.
Yeah.
Have a good time, guys. Grab her by the pussy with permission.
Hey.
It's all good.
Go to our website, too.
Oh, Weed and Whiskey Podcast.
Weed and Whiskey.
Follow us on Instagram at Weed and Whiskey Podcast. Whiskey with an E, baby.
All right, now we can leave. Peace out.
All right, grab her by the pussy with permission.
Peace.
Have a good one.
You about to reach on my phone a little like. Yo, back up, man.
I think I'm lit at this point.